Oh, here we go again. The bizarre and strange family history of Mr. James Patrick Churchill, Prince of Man, 60-something great-grandson of Odin. Is it 62nd? It's either the 62nd or the 63rd great-grandson of the Norse god Odin. We thought we'd finished this, but no. Oh, no. So, we know I have Manx ancestry, right? I have, on one side, a long line of descendants from the Isle of Man, going back at least to the early 1600s, as far as I can work out, and probably a lot further back than that. My Manx ancestry is really long. It's so long that as much as you can say that you're native Manx, I probably have native Manx ancestry, if that's even a thing. Anyway, I've recently been, each evening, to escape the fucking hellish noise where I live, I've been going to the library and I've been doing a bit of writing. I thought I'd restart Labyrinth, which is a book about the streets of Liverpool becoming a maze, because I stupidly threw the manuscript of the last version out. Anyway, this time I decided I would make the main character come from the Isle of Man, and he's a visitor to the city. And I went to the Isle of Man shelf in the library. There's an Isle of Man shelf in the library. Most of the books are the same, the place names of the Isle of Man, but there's a Manx shelf in the library. Anyway, on there I found this, The Isle of Man by R.H. Kindig, a social, cultural and political history. Probably a bit outdated since it was written in 1940, God knows whenever, 1944, so probably a bit outdated. But I came across a little interesting paragraph in there. In the early 1900s, there was a study done, a sort of proto-genetic study of features of Manx residents, what they looked like, what the average Manx person was, what their hair colour was, what their eye colour was, their stature, things like that. And what they found was that there was a difference between the north of the island and the south of the island. In the north of the island, everyone was tall and fair-haired and blue-eyed, sort of what they described as sort of Scandinavian ancestry. In the south of the island, it was quite the opposite. Everyone was dark-haired, they had really dark eyes, and they were of a small to medium stature. And the book reckons that this is a more Mediterranean sort of origin, and that these people, these Mediterraneans, first came to the Isle of Man as traders in the Neolithic period sometime. Did I ever tell you about my great-grandmother? She lived up until about 1997. She was like about 100 years old, something like that, when she died. She was the son of Thomas who didn't disappear for 30 years, as we've discovered. Wait, no, she wasn't the son of Thomas who disappeared for 30 years, no! She was the daughter of Thomas who disappeared for 30 years. And she's the one who was named after his previous wife, weirdly. Anyway, I kind of once a week I'd be just fobbed off onto the nearest elderly relative, who sometimes happened to be my great-grandmother. And she wasn't a tall woman, she was, you know, kind of short in stature. And pictures show that when she was younger, she had sort of darkish hair. My grandmother was the same. Little woman, darkish hair, and dark eyes. Both of them had dark eyes. And my great-grandmother also had a son, who I remember as being like really, 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 really tall, but you know, that may be because I was 4 years old at the time. But dark hair, dark eyes. Let's look in the mirror, shall we? Dark hair. Eyes. Look into my eyes. Look deep. Deeper. Deeper. Stare into my soul. See the madness that lies within. Look. Look deep. What do you see? Do you see horror? Do you see pain? Do you see heartache? Do you see the things that will be? Or do you see darkness? As in, dark eyes. My eyes are really, really flipping dark brown. Really flipping dark. And oh, how tall am I? 5'4.5". I'm not exactly a giant, am I? So, going backwards. I'm short, dark-haired, dark-eyed. My grandmother was short, dark-haired, dark-eyed. Her brother may not have been short, but dark-haired, dark-eyed. My great-grandmother, short, dark-haired, dark-eyed. And this is the Manx line we're talking about here. There's a genetic pattern of short, dark-haired, dark-eyed people. What the book calls, strangely, little dark people. South of the island, yeah? Well, guess where my Manx ancestors were living? South of the island. So, what can we conclude from this? We can conclude that my ancestors came to the Isle of Man as traders at some point in the Neolithic. Yeah, never thought I'd get this far, did you? Wonder if I can get it back any further. To the dawn of man. To the apes living in trees. I realise I once came up with a theory about how Neolithic people lived in trees. I can say that my ancestors lived in the trees.